Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Okay, so Feature Friday Plus. I'm a bit alone because Ballet's gigging, but I'm actually not alone. I'm here with the spirits and my father.
Yeah, that's me.
Your
spirit.
So I thought we do have like some cool podcasts coming up and stuff, but I thought this week it would be good because a lot of albums have been released and we really haven't had a chance to do reviews, and I really enjoy doing them. It's kind of like a time where I can get a bit more serious, you know what I mean, and I can maybe give my thoughts on things, maybe more critical about stuff, a bit more like not cutthroat, because most of these guys, I think, most of the guys all of the guys that we check out, I don't think they make garbage music. I think they just make music that perhaps wasn't the best at the time, or perhaps I didn't like, but just because I didn't like him doesn't mean that they're bad, you know what I mean? Other people have other taste, and it also is interesting as well reading the comments, especially in Feature Friday Plus, to me, because you guys are open also my horizons in terms of perspectives when it comes to albums. Like, think about this song when in a live setting, think about different things, you know, looking at things from different perspective. So do feel free to comment. And yeah, so there's 3 albums that I really want to check out. That is Itzy, because it's the first one, NCT 1 to 7, because there's been a lot of not controversy, but a lot of discussion given their latest comeback sticker, and then number 3, which is an album that's been very requested for us to review, which is Ben&Ben and Pebble House. There's no we, it's just me, but you know what I mean. Ballet did help me out with the reviews and stuff, because she's also a bit of a music head like myself, and I think she's way more of an expert than I am. But yeah, another thing. Nah, I shouldn't tease who is coming next. You want some water, mate? Hey, here's some water. That's what. I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna say who's coming next, but it's someone who's been very requested. I like for us to speak to him and stuff like that. It is a him, and he is. Not gonna reveal it, but he's in a group. Fuck it, that's a bit much. Anyways, so yeah, let's start with Itzy. Yeah. So Itzy is Crazy in Love. I think this is their latest thing. I think that's the latest outfit that I just saw in Loco. The title track was called Loco. Yeah, they say Loco, I'm going Loco. And it's Crazy in Love. That's their latest, because it's their first album, which is very interesting. Now, Itzy, father, in case you don't know, I think you have seen them before.
Yeah, I have.
They are one of my favorite groups in terms of girl groups. And I don't have that many favorite sort of like, not people that I listen to as much as them that are pop anyways. I do think that their concept is very difficult to execute, so I do give JYP a bit of credit, because they are kind of like edgy. You know, they also like to rap every now and then. They're very dance heavy, but are very good singers actually.
Yeah, but music wise, what is about?
Tough, right? Because their concept on itself is like dance. It's K-pop, by the way. It is.
Yeah, but it's what, electronic, or you have live band? What?
It's a mixture of everything, mate. That's why I think it's difficult to execute them in an album. And I was very looking forward to this because, and in the album itself, I mean, they do have pop tracks, they have electronic tracks, they have even some really vocal heavy, more melodic tracks.
Any live concert recently?
No, they haven't done any live concerts that I know of. However, I think they do have a band when they do. This is very, in Korea, this is a huge deal to have a good band when you sort of have a concert. I do not know with Itzy though. I don't know the name of the band. Do let me know in the comments below.
Band. Yeah.
It's 5 of them. It's 5.
5.
Yeah, 5 members. Look. Yes.
Oh, yeah, 5.
5 of them. Yeah. They're all very gifted dancers too. Oh. Which I was very impressed then to see. Yeah, kind of what the album is like. So anyway, so the album, it's a good size album. I think it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 songs, but it's way longer though. It has like 20 tracks because they did introduce the instrumentals for their previous songs, and also an English version of their title track. So I think it's kind of to appeal as well to more audiences and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I certainly appreciate it. I seem to enjoy more the Korean version of songs though, bizarrely enough, even though I can't really understand them. I just look up the lyrics. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I'll try and be detailed, but maybe not too detailed that it gets boring. So this first track is very local, and then the second track is Swipe. Certainly not like the track that I'm gonna repeat the most. I think it's a track that does provide a lot of dance value. Same as So Lucky, or So Lucky, that's how it's called. It's a pop album, right? And this is perhaps something that would cater, I think, to people that may enjoy pop a lot. Not sort of like the two songs that I'm gonna repeat a lot. 20, the beat of it actually reminds me of, listen to this, it reminds me a bit of Boom 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 by Black Eyed Peas. It's actually a really good song. I really enjoy this song. Let me... So Lucky, let me see if I can find it here. So Lucky. Itzy. Not shy, not me, Itzy. Look at this. Maybe it's Mega. Maybe I got it confused. Maybe it's Boombox, the one that reminds me of that. Let me see if it's maybe that one. Boombox. Itzy. I really enjoy that video as well, that local video. They have some... I think it's that one. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's that one. No, that's Swipe. Boombox, this one, sorry. Anyways, not that it adds too much. But anyway, so this sort of three tracks are very pop heavy. Not really like my number one take. Not really my number one choice. Same as Boombox. Then he goes on to Gas Me Up. I really like the beginning, and I think Yeji did a really good job in that sort of first verse. He did very well. But so far in the album, you have to understand that it's like 4 songs, right, of my favorite group that I'm thinking, fuck, like, these aren't the 4 songs that I'm gonna repeat or I haven't repeat, right? Then he goes to Love Is. And this is where I think this album is a great album from the bottom half. The top half wasn't for me. The bottom half, I actually felt like, fuck, this is like, I really enjoyed it. But maybe it just has to do with my music taste. Maybe it's also one of the things as well. They have to play to their different strengths in their first album. They have to showcase some pop. They have to showcase some more ballady, melodic pop. They have to show then some more rapping. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like this whole agglomeration of things. But Gas Me Up, I really like the beginning. Then it goes Love Is, which I think is a much better song, even though it is pop, and I'm not a pop fan. It's very congruent and a clearer vision. I felt it more inspired. Like they really knew what was going on with this song from the beginning, and I was very pleased with the production and the execution. This is just a little snippet, just so you can hear some of it. I'm sure at this point, I think everyone has heard Go From Here. It's just a nice song. It's a nice song that you can listen to. I think it has a lot of radio potential. I think it has a lot of virality potential. Good layering. I think it's a much better track. Again, he felt inspired. Chilling. I think once again he reinforces this sort of much better half of the album, at least in my taste. I feel like it has so much potential of being the title track, the fan choice of title track, like the fan favorite of a song. And yeah, without a doubt, I think it's a song that I will play often. Then he goes on to Mirror, which I feel it's perhaps my favorite track and the best track in the whole album, and I think you'll understand why. It relies on melody, cadence. We're getting a different side to Itzy that I really like, because they are so dance heavy sometimes, so fashion forward, so edgy, that sometimes you forget that they're actually high quality singers. And then when you listen to them do things like this, in a live setting, I have no shadow of a doubt that they can all achieve this type of sound, because I've seen them do songs in a more precarious environment than in a live setting, and they have been able to deliver. So that gives me peace of mind. There's some really nice moments in that song. I think Mirror, it's a most kind of like more focused Itzy, in the sense focused Itzy for that strength. of slower music. I was very impressed with Yuna. I forget how to pronounce her name. Charyong. Charyong. I apologize. Ryujin and obviously Jeji and Leah. Very impressed with them in that song. I really liked it. And then overall, just the conclusion of the album. To summarize, I said good concept of with Mirror. I said that it was a good concept of sort of battling yourself, and the whole concept of the song is like when you look in the mirror, and the mirror shines, it's because you're truly happy with yourself, and not because things are going well in your life. It's more to do like, you know, beauty comes from within, right? That sort of concept, which is a nice concept. But overall, in the whole album, I said that it's very difficult in a first album to truly embody a concentrate of 5 people and a whole concept of a K-pop group very well. That can all, because it's difficult for them, because it's as if they're good at a lot of things. So I think that might be a predicament to a certain extent for their first album, because
there's a long way to go still.
Well, in the sense of you can't showcase everything you're good at in 9 songs.
Exactly.
It's fucking impossible. Yeah. And at the same time, you can't, because you're a band, you can't do just an album that's just ballads, because that's just showcasing a facet of yourself and not so many other things. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, that's when time is your best friend.
Exactly. The more time they have in the industry, the more we'll get to know them, and the more albums they'll get to release. I really do hope this does well for them. I think it deserves to do well.
That's exactly what they need. Time to show how they will grow in certain type of music.
I agree. They're all fairly young. We've heard, in the house we hear a lot of their music. Hence why I take, I think you're coming from a place of actually listening to their music. So I think you're right. Matter of time with them. But it was an enjoyable album, especially that bottom half. That top half, not for me. The bottom half, very good. Let's then go on to NCT's album. A very, very peculiar album, because the title track, I think, did what its job was to do, and it was to create conversation. Because it was a very sort of, even Valeska didn't like it. I liked it. I thought it was my favorite NCT song, funnily enough, this song, mate. Called Sticker.
Alright.
Let me show you a bit of it, just so you can tell why it's so sort of, some people like it, some other people don't. Like that, you don't know what the fuck to expect, dude. You know what I mean? It's like a high-pitched noise that looks like a flute, but it's not really nothing. So again, it's like, if you listen to 10 seconds of that, you're like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, however, the evolution of the song, I do recommend you to watch actually our review of it, because I think Bali did highlight some important points, and I felt like I kind of showed why I liked it with words. But it does a good job of evolving. It sounds very kind of like rap forward at the beginning, kind of the music you don't really enjoy, but then it goes on and it progresses into sort of jazz utilization of chords and rhythm and blues. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is 9 members, NCT. So you have a line of rappers, you have a line of vocals, you have a line of people that can do both. So you have to, and they're also predominantly known for being very, 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 very experimental. And it doesn't surprise me what someone like, I forget his name, what he said is not good. I think perhaps he approached it from the wrong angle. I don't really watch him that much, but I did enjoy his review of Drake's album. I think he was spot on. But I think he approached it from the wrong angle, in the idea of NCT are primarily known as an experimental group. They like to experiment with sounds. They like to push boundaries in terms of what's acceptable, in terms of what's melodic, really. And when you're experimental, you run the risk that some stuff might be good, sometimes may be bad, right? In this case, Sticker, Lemonade, and Breakfast. Those are the first 3 songs. Lemonade, I feel like this song was actually made for TikTok. I think maybe that was their main approach. But I really enjoyed Taehyun's verse. The chorus banged, in my opinion. The big chants thing, they kind of have this thing of like chanting sounds, whoa, whoa, like that. And I think live that would sound amazing, but in a song, I'm not a big fan of that. but the chord, the progressions, and the harmonies are very musically intricate and complex. Something that SM is known for, and I think something that NCT primarily is known for as well. Weird stuff, weird sounds. I liked it. I like experimental sounds every now and then. Ballet is way more experimental than me, and she offered some resistance to it. She wasn't a big fan. The breakdown part of the song, not for me, not at all. It felt a bit too High School Musical. You know that musical, High School Music. It sounded a bit like that. But there are good elements to this. There are good elements to the song. It doesn't mean it's a bad song. It just means there's good elements to it, and it's gonna cater to a specific ear. Then it goes Focus. I said very, very good intro to Focus. Haechan is very good. I think he makes that point often in this album. Interesting utilization of jazz chords. The beat at the end, this beat and production makes you want to kind of beg for the rap section. It's a very good group song. I felt it highlights different kind of, everyone's strengths and stuff. Then it goes on to where I think the album comes together. Again, those first three songs, Breakfast, Focus, and Lemonade, kind of similar to Itzy. I think that those first three songs at the beginning, not for me. But the later half of the album does a way better job at showcasing what I think NCT is my favorite NCT is very good at, which is vocals, man. I think they're good singers. I just think they're really good singers, all of them. And I think ballads suit them really well. I think that jazz suits them really well. They've never done a pure jazz song, but they've done kind of R&B. So Rainy Night, very good track. I like where this album is going. They have very good vocalists. These men, this seems to be kind of... Rainy Night felt like SM Entertainment wanted to prove a point because of how experimental the whole album is. They wanted to prove a point of what SM is very, very outstandingly good at, which is this. That, I think, that type of music opens up so much public and fans. Like, you listen to that and, Mother doesn't know much about NCT. She listens to that, she enjoys it. I don't think you've had the chance to listen to this later half of the album, Father, but I would recommend you to, because there are some really good, there's like 5 songs here which are very, very good. Regardless of what your music taste may be, it's very refined music, so it's high quality enough that regardless of whether you're a rap fan or something like that, you would still listen to this and be like, oh shit, these people can do good music. So just continuing from Rainy Night, this sort of last 2 tracks of Focus and Rainy Night, the album seems to be coming together, and they prove these 2 tracks why I personally enjoy NCT's work, because I think this type of music shows their true level of music and not their experimental side, which is more of their marketable side. And I just said, man, those guys, Haechan and Do-young, I think is his name, or Do-young, I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing it, and Jung-woo, they're the kind of like very good vocalists at the moment, and they just show in this song why they're so special and why they get so much credit. I said beautiful piano in the outro. Then Far and Bring Me the Noise. So we kind of go back to that theme in the first 3 songs of electronic experimental again with Far and Bring the Noise. Not my favorite tracks. I feel like they are live tracks. Now, if they are live tracks, why introduce them in the album? And why not simply have them as special tracks in a live setting? Because they are, again, kind of like too experimental for enjoyment. Because I think you're going to have to be in the right mindset. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to listen to some, sounds that are very peculiar. Like, compared to then a much better produced track, I feel, like Rainy Night. You already even feel transitions coming in. Layers. Are way more structurized. I mean, I listened to the piano at the end part. That's class. That's a class arrangement right there. So that's like elite level, right? And then these other songs are experimental level. They are for live, for music, for dancing, for these sort of light shows coming in, the light sticks and the show, and you know what I mean? It's like, it's a whole show. but they're not for me. These are not the songs that I kind of added to my playlist. Then we go, so that's Far and Bring Me the Noise. Then he goes to Magic Carpet. Oh, once again, we go back to this sort of magical, wonderful land of NCT vocals and raps that are so, you know, they have a lot of cadence. And I said, man, these guys are good and it's high quality music. But the album, let maybe perhaps say that at the end, because I think there's more to go through. There's then Road Trip, which is a bit more popish, still a bit experimental, a bit NCT, you know, because he is NCT, but it's good. I really like the second verse a lot of this. Then Dreamer, again, I've never been a big fan of chant songs. These sort of songs that, you know, they like, yeah, I don't know, chants. That's Road Trip. This. I'd love to hear maybe why this is kind of your favorite song, because it's always interesting. Like maybe my least favorite song is someone's favorite song, and maybe my most favorite song is someone's least favorite song, right? It's super peculiar. Then it goes to Promise You, which is the outro. And I said it's not about outro. I get the feeling that even the lyrics of the song is very fan forward. You know, I think they're saying thank you, and whenever we see each other again, I will do my best to impress all of you. I think
so
it's.
Again, how many songs are in the album?
In the album, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 songs.
Right.
And I felt like really, really, really high quality songs, or maybe not high quality songs, maybe that's not fair, but songs that I really enjoyed and I'm gonna play were 3, right? Which was Magic Carpet, The Rainy Night, and Focus. Mm-hmm. But I think it just has more to do with my taste, because I like jazz, I like blues, rhythm and blues, R&B, and I like vocals and ballads. So no wonder that I enjoy these tracks from NCT. However, it does pose the question: if you have 11 songs and 7 of them or 8 of them are highly experimental, you're kind of putting so much stress on your fans, right? Yeah. To not offer any resistance in terms of experimentation, because that's the thing about experiments. They might go well, they might not. The whole reason why it's called an experiment. You know, you're trying to discover something new, and that new may not be good, or may be bad. You know, or maybe really good. But I said overall, this is my favorite NCT 127 album that I've checked out. Full album, a mini album. There's others, but it still possesses the same problem with all of their other albums, I feel, which is that they're yet again so experimental, and that is the core value of NCT. That sometimes, yeah, it may not allow. For a smooth album listening experience, like one go, you know, you can just pick and choose, and that's fine too, but not one go. And I think also they're now sort of at this very peculiar stage in their careers where, you know, this is the 3rd full album, and they have experimented a lot, and they have gathered a lot of fans that like those experimental sounds. Maybe they're more experimental hip hop, maybe they're more experimental neo electronic, maybe they're more experimental. They've never done rock. Maybe they're more. Oh, rap, yeah. Hip-hop, rap, yeah. Maybe they're more experimental pop. And then you have these fans that like specific aspects of NCT and then come together. And then when you make an album, and, you know, they're smart people, they have to cater to everyone. So, peculiar.
So
but
it means if that's the pattern, it means that in the future, you may probably will have a fully experimental album, and probably next one a fully melodic and more smooth, straightforward
listening experience.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I have no idea, because that's the thing about NCT. You never know. You never know what they're gonna do next. Truly, they you know, they have they have songs that are.
And they are outstanding in their performance, live performance.
One of the best live performance.
That's what keeps fans attending what they produce.
No, and they're also
even in the studio.
And they're world-class singers as well. So their live performance is not just dance. When they sing, it's like, what the
No, it's worth it.
And the rappers are also, they deserve a lot of credit, those rappers, man, because a lot of these songs that they have to rap on, oh god, that is so difficult. So difficult. I know they don't write their raps, and there's people that have their opinions regarding that, but they execute and they perform this type of stuff. Lastly, but overall, not a bad album. As I said, my favorite 127 album, NCT 127 album. However, I think it still poses some problems. No album is perfect. I'm yet to listen to an album that's perfect. Because I'm biased by my own things. Michael Bublé. Yeah, the Christmas album. Let's go now to a very interesting album which is Ben&Ben from the Philippines.
Yeah. I know.
Great band. Outstanding band. And they have this album called, let me show you, I think it's called Pebble House in English. I'm not sure if they named it something else in Tagalog. Ben&Ben, Pebble House, Ben&Ben. You see the cover of the cover art as well. Yeah, so that's the cover art. Volume 1. That's Ben&Ben, obviously you're very familiar with them. That's one of their latest songs that they've done. And in this album, the objective I don't think was to sort of just make collaborations. But I think that was definitely part of it. You know, they have Moira de la Torre as a collaboration here. They have SB19 as a collaboration here. They have Zild and Juan Carlos as a collaboration here. Great collaborations. So let's get into it, because there are some thoughts that I think I want to express, and I hope they show truly my thoughts and what I felt. Not my thoughts, but what I felt while listening to his album. So it starts with Cuaderno. It's actually the name of the song is Cuaderno, but it's spelled Cuaderno in Tagalog. Yeah, I'm not sure if also, I do apologize if perhaps they are speaking in a dialect that I didn't highlight that. Of course, I'm not fluent in anything, barely English and Spanish. So Cuaderno is just an intro. And I said, it's awesome to again see instrumentals as an intro in albums. Pebble House, let me just show you a bit of it. It's truly amazing. That's the intro of the album. Let's hear this. You have it with headphones.
With your headphones.
You have it with headphones. A dark room. You listen to the album. You're going to Mars. You're actually gonna trip. You know. So I said it's very nice. When was the last time you saw an intro of an album actually do this? Last time was Lady Gaga Chromatica. You know, there hasn't been. I mean, maybe Yeba does that. I don't know if in the latest album. I don't even think she did, and she's a very, an insane musician. But it's a tell. This is kind of like you're gonna step into Ben&Ben's world here for a good while. So it was very good to see again instrumentals set the atmosphere, musical expertise, arrangement, layers, using musical principles of less is more, taking away beats and percussion just to allow vocalizations to take hold of you, and then bring percussion in to then give you an umph. That's fantastic to see. Someone like Phil Collins is very famous for doing things like those. So anyways, fantastic, good intro. Then it goes to Kasaya, which is, by the way, from the intro to Kasaya, it feels like one song, but the album changed, the song changed. So it was so well made that the outro finishes and immediately the next song plays and you feel like you're watching a concert because it was seamless. So world-class arrangements, minor percussion, seamless transitions of Kasaya. Good song. I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is an album. Like, this is an album, like a proper album we're listening to, like proper band album. Then I like, the sort of lyrics of it. He says, I'm dancing in my own shadow, which I really like that. I said it's very thick, it's very energetic, inspired. It showed purpose, this song. Then he goes to Swimming Pool. And I said, okay, so we start seeing sort of the collaborative idea of the album, because Swimming Pool is done with a singer called Chito Miranda. Okay. And it was very interesting to see Ben&Ben sort of adapt and collaborate with different singers, with different colors, with different, voice colors, with different intricacies and tendencies. So I said we start to see the collaborative idea of the album, especially in this song. It's like Swimming Pool. It's not my style of music. It's way more Valeska style of music. Or should I say, I don't know, Valeska, wherever she is. Not the strongest song ever, in my opinion, though. But it's very interesting colors.
Okay.
Then it goes to Eliu, which I said this is a great start in the intro, and I think this is what makes Ben&Ben one of the best bands in the world, because this song really strips down what they're really good at, because they're good at this concept of like taking away everything and making complex issues and emotions simple through music. And this is something a common theme in the project of Pebble House, which very simple lyricism, but wonderful, because there's so much beauty also in simplicity.
Yeah, but for me it's very complicated, because Ben&Ben is a number of
so many
musicians. So I think they are like 7, 9.
Yeah, I think it's like 10. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
They have a violinist, which I mentioned here.
Yeah, can you imagine the composer and how to do the arrangement?
All of them.
To keep everybody happy.
They compose themselves. I think that's why they keep everyone happy, because they compose themselves, and their family, a lot of them.
Oh, right. Well, it may help. Yeah, it may help to create a connection between them.
Still difficult to arrange, though.
But it's very difficult to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many different ways of perception of what the music is about. It doesn't matter if you are my son.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many years we have been performing together.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have your own concept.
Of course, yeah.
And if I don't adapt to your concept, and
it's going to be friction and conflict.
Playing together, there will be a conflict.
Yeah, and friction, especially. Yeah,
exactly, friction. How do they deal with that? It's an amazing achievement.
There would be a really interesting band to sort of sit down and speak to, because
thinking about the intro, and then you go to another different collaboration with different genre of music.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Peculiar. They're truly a unicorn, I would say. But anyways, I said that there's intermittent arrangements in this song, in the sense of they're very predictable, and there's lots of in Spanish we'll call them cortes, kind of stops and cuts and splashes and cymbals being hit. A lot of intermittent arrangements like those. They're consistent and they're predictable, but I think they're digestible. Well, they're obviously digestible because of those reasons, but I think it was done on purpose, because you want the audience to profoundly connect with the lyrics and not allow the music to become a barrier through its complexity to not understand fully the song's meaning.
Yeah. Again, that's something very difficult to achieve.
Impossible.
That's what I say.
This is a proper band, they are, in terms of musician band. Then it goes Pasabulong, another seamless transition. Pasabulong, I think, is the song that they have with Moira. So there's Moira de la Torre collaboration. We've checked it out in the channel, so there's a reaction up for that. Then it goes to Magpahinga, which is a very relatable song, I said, because the theme is like 24 hours don't feel enough. And this is actually a very smart way to approach, this song. Like the whole theme of the song is a very smart way to approach the. Okay, so the next song was Magpahinga, which is, I said, like the concept of the song is sort of to tackle this. Like you have a sea of problems, and 24 hours don't seem enough. But funnily enough, I was actually in maybe not to get too philosophical, but a few days ago, Father and I we were just in a museum, and it was a museum about sailing, not sailing, but how.
It was a maritime museum of maritime
like
war,
boats and all that stuff, right? And in the song there's this concept of there's not enough hours in the day to sort out your sea of troubles, right? Because everyone has very difficult issues and things going on, personal battles going on, and 24 hours doesn't feel enough in a day to try and figure out yourself and do all the things you also must do. And I said, like, again, not to get too philosophical, but perhaps even though it isn't enough time for us to kind of discover and understand ourselves day by day, we should take strength and meaning in the fact that throughout history, that's what humanity has done. Being able to find their way in the middle of nowhere and touch land. Like there was a concept in the museum where people navigated the sea when there was no compasses. They would look up in the sky and connect with the stars through astrology, of course, and studies of the stars. Astronomy, sorry, not astrology, astronomy. And the studies of the stars. To somehow find your way home. And it was one of the most difficult and unbelievable things that humans, I feel, have done consistently. Now it's too easy, you know? But then, bizarre that we were able to survive for that long. And that I'm here thanks to people like those. Mm-hmm. So perhaps we should find strength that even though we don't have enough time and it feels like we're always rushing and we're drowning in this sea of issues and troubles, perhaps the hope is that if you are alive today, it's because all your ancestors were able to discover and find a way and find light in a sea of complete and utter darkness and angst. But anyways,
as I said before, it's better when you fail trying.
Yeah.
You can fail, you know, very proud of it because you tried so many times, even when you didn't find a way. So behind you will come someone that related that the job you did before, the job you performed before, will be the fundamentals for next generations to do it better and better, to improve and find the achievement.
That's essentially what we learned that day, right? Like all these ships that went missing, all these sailors that died, all these captains that ended themselves, all led to progress. Because before they gave up, they tried countless times.
Like no other.
Yeah. But anyways, then he goes on to one of the most peculiar and interesting collaborations, because Valeska and I have spoken about this collaboration a lot. Sealed and Juan Carlos. They're incredible alternative singers, alternative rock. But I would never picture them with Ben&Ben. I would have pictured them working together, but never with Ben&Ben. And they did in a song called Lunod. And a darker concept, a concept of anxiety and angst and being drowned in your sea of troubles. But each collaboration, what it feels like in the album, like for example, it feels like you are tackling an issue or speaking about a problem from different perspectives. And that's why you brought other people to sing in the song with you. So for example, Sealed's approach is a bit dark in the song. And then Juan Carlos' approach is a bit more combative of fighting a monster. And I probably will lose, but I would attempt to fight the darkness. So very, stylistically, it's such an intriguing sort of collaboration. But very well done. Then he goes with Sabel, which KZ Tandingang is the collaboration with Ben&Ben. And here we go way more tribal, way more, we strip down everything and it's mainly percussive, minor percussion. And it's a more fighting approach with hope, with a sign of hope this time. And we're seeing how the album is conceptually evolving. We're not just now seeing the evolution from intro to outro, but conceptually we're tackling issues and we're talking about stories and personal topics. And as the
challenges, and then you go to the roots.
And then as the album progresses, we're resolving those issues and we're coming to a conclusion as the outro comes. So anyways, in this song, it's a wonderful piece of harmony work. The harmonies between KZ and Ben&Ben is great. I can't wait to see that live. I do wish they do put something out together live. I think Casey's, personality in her voice comes through so great, and she's one of my favorite singers. So maybe I'm biased, but I think she's a great singer.
Oh yeah, she is. I think.
Yeah. Then it goes Kapang Gyarihan, which means power, and it's with SB19. They're obviously no strangers to each other. They have worked before together. And I said a very big start in the song. It's very big. It's very powerful. It's sort of interesting how they decided to go heavier on rap, and it's kind of like metal, like heavy rap metal for some reason. And because it feels more like a protest. This song, the song is about what you would do with power, and I think perhaps they're alluding to powerful people and how they've perhaps become corrupted themselves and utilize power to manipulate people and not to bring people up. So it feels more like a protest, more like an encouragement to think. And then the rest of the album is more of not to make this too long, but the rest of the album.
How many songs you said in the album?
This is quite a lengthy album because there's so many collaborations, but it's only 13 songs in comparison to what a lengthy album would be.
Full album, yeah.
Definitely a full album. And they did say volume 1, so maybe they'll come out with volume 2. Pebble has volume 2, because the idea of like the album, in the cover how it has different rooms.
Yeah.
So I think what the idea was, let me put this up, is to sort of in each room there's a different vibe, there's a different issue, there's a different sound, there's a different person to converse with in a house. And I think that's why they sort of brought these different people to converse with, musically speaking. But overall, it's a very, 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 very good album. One of the best albums of the year, if not in a good while. I think they should be very proud of what they've achieved, and I'm very proud to be able to even review and share it with you guys. And with all the albums that we've discussed here today, they're awesome. It's truly amazing to see what a group of people can come up with. Yeah. And it's very easy for me to sit here and judge it, and it's very easy for me to sit here.
No, you're not being judged. The thing is that your opinion is coming from within. I mean, in the environment.
I hope at least it holds some value, maybe shine some light on things,
Exactly. Especially in the experimental side of
music
is doing.
Yeah.
So if you go to NCT again, they are doing something that for me is very valuable, because something good will come out of it.
Well,
believe me.
Everyone always complains that every song sounds the same nowadays in the industry, and then someone dares to be experimental, and then everyone bashes them. It's like you can't bash people that are being experimental. You have to encourage them to keep experimenting so they land on something.
Exactly. That's what I support the most.
And the interesting thing about NCT is that they have landed on something. You don't sell millions of tickets. You don't sell millions of views. You don't if you're shit. Not in Korea, at least. Exactly. In other parts of the world, perhaps. Mm-hmm. But if you come from the Korean system, no, sorry, you're not going to be bad.
For one reason, you have the support of the industry.
Yeah.
For one reason, you are part of the outstanding, the pinnacle of the Korean industry.
Yeah, I think we should be very careful as reviewers in general in the scene of YouTube reviews and stuff like that when it comes to the Korean industry, because the Korean industry does something incredibly different to every other industry, which it provides, and it trains pros. So I can judge someone who was maybe self-taught and in that sense, because that can be achieved by everyone. But with this idol system, not everyone makes it at all. So it's like me judging then a professional athlete. It's like me judging Roger Federer. And it's like, yeah, I play tennis. Yeah, I'm decent at it. I would have gone for a slice down the line when it should have been a backhand cross court. It's like, nah, dude.
So that's when I used to tell you years ago when, for example, Rafa Nadal down the line out of the blue, and it landed in.
Yeah. It's not luck.
And exactly, people say he was lucky. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Amanda has to spend his life doing that ground stroke And you call it luck.
Yeah. It might have been an improbable choice, but he put all the likely probability, the little probability he had on his favor, is done through all these years of work.
Yeah.
So we should tackle the problems that sometimes some of these songs have and stuff like that as reviewers, because I think also reviewers are important. I'm evolving on that thought of reviewers becoming important or not important in the music industry. Not only because I'm now becoming part of it, but also because I think it can allow for interesting conversation and it can allow for evolution as well. So, but with the Korean industry, it's very peculiar because you can't judge a professional performer the same way you judge someone who's not a professional performer. Can't judge them the same way. You can't. They don't fall under the same criteria anymore.
Yeah,
because you're looking now at a professional athlete, and then you're looking at someone who is also an athlete. But it's kind of like the argument of someone who went through academia and someone who didn't.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're shit? No. But academia does hold its place, and it has value, and it has different value to someone who may just be as smart.
And you're not saying more value. It has value, a different value.
Yeah. So we should be very careful when it comes to the Korean industry as a whole.
I agree with you, definitely, because they are like
an anomaly.
Making again the industry.
Pretty much.
Of course.
Some people may not like that, but it's true.
Yeah, of course they will do certain wrong things. Yeah, but the results they are showing now are amazing.
And it's no wonder that nowadays, without a doubt, and I can say this without a doubt, the best videos, music videos in the world are from Korea.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's true.
Without a doubt.
And you can see how the Korean industry is taking the whole planet.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's calling the attention in the whole planet. This week, BTS was at the United Nations Assembly.
Yeah, they've always done that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know it should tell you something.
Did you have a look at the speech
A bit
that your boy Namjoon did?
Yeah. Yeah, especially because I saw him.
Yeah, that's why I would imagine. Yeah, father's a big fan of RM.
Yeah, and then it confirmed to me where the Korean industry is heading.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Special anomaly, dude. They're unicorns.
Yeah.
Not just BTS. UTS are unicorns of unicorns. That's why they're so impressive.
Yeah.
But just the whole industry in itself. Yes, there are its flaws, of course, but they seem to be the most consistently good at the moment.
Yeah.
And that has to be taken into consideration. I think also as well with like with BTS just in particular, they just released a song with Coldplay. Literally today, right?
Amazing.
So you're seeing, and I said it in the review, it's like now you're seeing truly all worlds connecting, and they spoke Korean, and they should keep their roots. That's cool, and it's no longer a barrier. You know what I mean? Now people are starting to understand. It's like it's music, because high quality music no longer has barriers.
Efra, we are returning to the philosophy of music is a universal language.
Concept, yeah, universal. Yeah, say universal language. Couldn't have said it better.
It doesn't matter where you are, so you will enjoy music.
Yeah.
That's the language.
I agree. Well, let us know your thoughts. Obviously, very thought-provoking sort of conversations. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I know it's a bit bizarre without Bali.
I love your shirt.
Oh, thanks, mate. Actually, Bali bought it for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So let us know. Oh, but if you would like to also get our merchandise, I probably a good point to mention, right? FeatureFridayStore.com is all good. We had some technical issues in the past, but now everything's cool.
Yeah, that wasn't my intention.
No, I know. I'm just saying, probably.
By the way,
good segue.
I was yesterday at the club playing tennis.
Yeah.
With my Feature Friday T-shirt.
Nice.
And they were asking me, where do you buy it?
FeatureFridayStore.com, dog. Well, anyways, I hope at least you enjoyed it. I know it's not the same without Bali. It truly doesn't feel the same without Bali. I'm so grateful for that person, for Bali, for my sister. She brings so much knowledge, and I really hope we could have bounced some ideas with her, because she's truly knowledgeable. But she will be back on Monday, and happy days. Apart from that, guys, see you later. Peace out. It's a very good podcast. That was a very, very good podcast. And now we're, I don't know, 51 minutes. Okay, stop.